Michael Mordaga, Police Director for the Hackensack Police Department. Probably about 6 to 7 weeks ago, we started a quality of life initiative in the city of Hackensack. And that was based on, when I took over in February of this year, I attended numerous meetings in the community. And the complaints that I received were based on a lot of quality of life issues within the city. And when I say quality of life, I mean narcotics use, motor vehicle violations, public drunkenness, some issues with the homeless people, because we do have the homeless shelter located in the city of Hackensack. And basically this quality of life initiative has been initiated on citizens' complaints and complaints from people in the business community. What we did with the Quality of Life initiative is we joined forces with the Sheriff's Department. I went basically to the county agencies to assist us. The Sheriff provided us with some assistance, and the Prosecutor's Office.
Director Mordaga approached me asking if we were interested in assisting him in a quality of life type of detail. It's my nature. If someone asks me for help, I have the resources, absolutely. I saw the need for it. Mike and I rode around, as we are doing right now, and saw certain things in the city, and I know Hackensack's trying very hard to clean up their city, and we're just doing our part.
Some of the issues that we have had with quality of life do extend to the borders, the southern borders of the city, which would be Little Ferry and South Hackensack. They are working jointly with us, so we basically have the 3 towns that are involved with it also. The fact that the city of Hackensack is the location for the Bergen County Homeless Shelter, it attracts the people who are in need of these services to the city of Hackensack. The homeless shelter does house people who are homeless, but on the other hand, they also feed people who are maybe down on their luck or are looking to get some meals. So not just homeless people, individuals go there, but also people who want to eat at the homeless shelter.
But tell me about the people that are at the shelter and the people you're stopping on the street, and whether they have criminal records and whether they are committing crimes in Hackensack.
Well, as far as the people involved and connected to the homeless shelter that we are interacting with, and a lot of the officers that we picked for this detail are officers that are compassionate officers. They are compassionate to the needs of individuals like homeless people and the people who may be out there using the services of the shelter.
What, they got one under?
They got one already. The one guy was they dispersed. That's what I always have an issue with.
Right.
He was sleeping on the front stoop. He came back negative, and they just literally just dispersed.
We got Sarge.
We got a gentleman down at the shelter was wandering the street over here. After we dispersed, Mr. I came up on him, wanted to check on him. Got a warrant out of parameters for 1,000. They're confirming now.
Okay.
On the other hand, there's a zero tolerance for the quality of life issue. So if these individuals are drinking in public, if they're urinating in public, if they're asking people for money in front of businesses, panhandling, so to speak, they're going to be issued city ordinance violations. We're going to enforce them. So, there is compassion, but we are going to strictly enforce the law in Hackensack. Now, I will say that we do have a good relationship, a good working relationship with the employees of the homeless shelter, and I've personally met with Julia Lando, who's the director down there at the shelter. We've had some very great conversations, and our conversations are ongoing because I think that there are some of the problems that we're having within the city of Hackensack that involve the homeless shelter, that an ongoing dialogue with us would probably be very helpful. And we are in the process of doing that.
Well, what is the reality you're finding on the street, outside the homeless shelter, with people you are stopping? Can you talk a little bit about the percentage of people who you're stopping who actually have criminal records?
I can give you what our statistics are for the month of June and the interaction that we've had with people on the street who have told our officers that they utilize the homeless shelter and their services. The number was probably somewhere in the area of 50 people that we interacted with that fit that category. And of those 50, almost all of them have criminal records. Most of them have narcotic records. Some of them have extensive criminal records. 3 of those individuals have prior arrests for murder, armed robbery, kidnapping. So, you know, a lot of them have very serious criminal records and substance abuse problems. And these are the people who are walking around in our community. Now, naturally, this is something that we are working jointly with the homeless shelter on. The individuals that we're having some problems with are people who are confronting residents, people who have substance abuse issues. A day does not go by, not one single day goes by that we don't have to respond and call for an ambulance to take a person who's inebriated off the street. The other issues which we are strictly enforcing are the fact that there's littering, extensive littering of liquor bottles, public urination. We've had to clean up the public walkway in the city of Hackensack along the river, where there's this extensive litter problem there caused by people drinking, urinating. We've cleaned up feces, our DPW, syringes, narcotic paraphernalia, sleeping bags from them sleeping in bushes and along the river. We have assigned the DPW to trim all the brush away from fences so that our patrol cars can monitor those locations. The city of Hackensack has purchased new benches, for instance, park benches. And the park benches that we purchased in the city have 3 armrests, and they have purposely are purchased with a center armrest so that people can't lay down on the benches. And you know, we've had an issue with that where they're ripping those center armrests out.
This will be a clear picture because the armrests are placed underneath, which is a tactic used by people that like to loiter here and kind of just lay out on the bench.
They're actually underneath the bench.
So they can lay down on the benches and causing property damage. So the problems are significant with certain individuals out there, and we do have compassion, but we are going to enforce the law, and then we're going to enforce the law strictly.